In the heart of a bustling city, where the air hummed with the chatter of merchants and the scent of exotic spices, a young boy named Aladdin spent his days. The vibrant chaos of the marketplace was his playground, his school, and his workplace all rolled into one. He was known by many of the shopkeepers, who would call out his name with a smile. "Aladdin, a good morning to you," the baker would say, and Aladdin would wave back, his own smile just as warm. They saw him as a bright young man, full of boundless energy and life. He ran errands, his feet light through the crowds, always ready to lend a hand, whether it was helping an old woman gather her fallen fruit or carrying a heavy bolt of silk for a tired tailor. He helped arrange figs and dates into tempting pyramids for the fruit seller. Though his clothes were simple and his pockets often empty, Aladdin never felt shame. His mother had taught him that true wealth isn't measured in gold, but in goodness. "Kindness costs nothing, my son," she would often remind him, "but it is the most valuable thing you can give." He was a boy with bright eyes and a hopeful spirit, who believed that a better future was always possible. She worked hard as a weaver, her fingers deftly spinning thread into beautiful cloth, and she loved him more than anything in the world. At day's end, he would bring home a loaf of bread and the few coins he had earned. Their small home, though humble, was a sanctuary of peace and love. But a stranger watched him from the shadows of the bustling marketplace, his eyes following the boy's every move. This was no ordinary observer. He was a powerful magician from a distant land, seeking a secret cave and an ancient lamp. And in the boy's bright spirit and nimble grace, he saw a key. A wicked plan began to weave itself in the dark corners of his mind. The next day, a stranger appeared in their quiet street. He was dressed as a wealthy merchant, though his eyes held a strange, calculating glint. After a moment's observation, he approached Aladdin's home and knocked. When Aladdin's mother answered, he introduced himself as her late husband's brother, a merchant who had been traveling in faraway lands for many years. He spoke of his deep regret for not returning sooner, his words dripping with false sentiment. Though wary, the widow's heart softened at the mention of her husband. A small pouch of gold, offered as a token of family duty, helped to dissolve her remaining doubts.
"And this must be my nephew. You have your father's eyes. You are a fine young man. This life of poverty is not for you. I will teach you a trade. I will make you a rich merchant just like me."
The promise was intoxicating. They dreamed of shops filled with fine silk and chests overflowing with glittering jewels. For days, the magician showered Aladdin with attention. He brought small, curious gifts and wove incredible tales of distant lands, of sea monsters and hidden kingdoms. Patiently, he earned the boy's complete trust. He was like a spider weaving a careful, deliberate web, with the unsuspecting boy at its very center.
"My boy, your training begins today. I will show you something truly special, a secret known to no one else. We will go on a journey, just the two of us, outside the city, to the source of a real, unimaginable treasure."
Thrilled at the prospect of an adventure, Aladdin followed without a second thought, completely unaware of the dark purpose behind his supposed uncle's kindness and the terrible danger that lay ahead. After many hours of walking, far beyond the city walls and into the barren hills, the magician finally stopped. They stood before a great flat stone, set into the earth in a place that felt utterly forgotten by time. Aladdin, tired and dusty from the journey, looked around at the desolate landscape, his heart a mix of weariness and nervous anticipation. What could possibly be here? The magician began to chant in a language Aladdin did not understand, his voice low and guttural. He threw a strange powder from his pouch, and as it touched the stone, the very earth began to rumble and groan. The ground trembled beneath Aladdin's feet, and with a great grinding sound, the heavy stone began to rise, as if lifted by unseen hands. A dark square opening appeared, from which a cool, musty air flowed. A flight of ancient, worn steps descended into a profound and silent darkness.
"Do not be afraid, my boy. This treasure is meant only for you. Go down, and at the very end you will find an old lamp. Bring me that lamp, and all the other riches you see will be yours to keep."
To keep him safe from any enchantments, he placed a simple-looking ring on the boy's finger. "This will protect you," he said. Scared but trusting, and dazzled by the promise of wealth, Aladdin took a deep breath and started down the steps. When he reached the bottom, he gasped. He was in a cavern so vast it seemed to hold its own night sky, glittering with a light that was brighter than starlight. Before him was a garden of unearthly trees. Some were of purest silver, and others of shining gold. And when a faint breeze stirred them, their leaves rustled with a delicate, chiming sound. And the fruits hanging from their branches were not fruits at all, but enormous, perfectly cut jewels. Fiery rubies, deep green emeralds, brilliant sapphires, and diamonds that shone with all the colors of the rainbow. Aladdin walked through this incredible orchard, his eyes wide with wonder, until he saw it. There, plain beside all the treasure, sat a dusty, unremarkable lamp. He tucked the lamp safely into his robe. Then, thinking they were merely pretty pieces of colored glass, he filled his pockets with the glittering fruits, a few souvenirs from this magical place. His task complete, he turned and began the long climb back up the steps, ready to return to the surface and his waiting uncle.
"Give me the lamp."
Aladdin wanted help out first.
"Help me out, uncle, and then I will give it to you."
The magician raged when the boy held firm. He sealed the entrance. Silence followed. Trapped and terrified, he cried out in vain. Shivering, his fingers brushed the ring.
"What is your wish, master?"
"I wish to get out of this place."
In a blink, he stood outside in bright sunlight. The cave was gone, the lamp and glass remained. He was free, and ran for home. Aladdin ran home and fell into his mother's arms. He told her everything. He showed her the bright stones. With no food left, she cleaned the old lamp.
"I am the genie of the lamp. What is your wish, my master?"
Startled, his mother fainted. Aladdin stood brave.
"We are hungry. Please bring us something to eat."
A magnificent feast filled the table. They ate until full, amazed and thankful. They sold the platters and lived comfortably. He wished for a warm, clean home for his mother, and fine clothes for them both. Carefully and kindly, he used the genie's power to change their lives. The Sultan's daughter was known for beauty, intelligence, and kindness. Sheltered and lonely, she dreamed of the world beyond. She read in hidden gardens, wishing for true companionship. She noticed an elegant but modest home, and asked about it. Hearing this, her curiosity grew. She slipped out in simple clothes. Through the shutters, she saw kindness in his eyes, and respect in his manner. Shy, she turned away, leaving a small embroidered handkerchief behind. He saw her eyes behind the veil, and his heart skipped a beat. That delicate cloth would change everything. 2 lives, quietly drawn together by kindness. Aladdin longed to meet her again, and to marry her. A commoner could not ask a princess's hand, unless he became a prince. The genie appeared, ready to help.
"I want to marry the princess. Help me present myself as a worthy prince."
In an instant, a royal procession formed with treasures beyond compare. The Sultan smiled. The princess shyly agreed. The evil magician sought the lamp once more. He knew the prince was Aladdin, and swore revenge. He disguised himself and set out for the city. A cunning plot formed in his mind, to steal back the source of all power. He would strike when fate left the palace unguarded.
"New lamps for old! New lamps for old!"
He timed his moment while Aladdin hunted with the Sultan. No one knew its secret but Aladdin. The servant traded the old lamp for a new shiny one. He hurried away, triumphant.
"I am your slave, master."
"Take this palace with the princess and all within to the farthest corner of my homeland."
In an instant it was gone. The Sultan raged and blamed Aladdin. Aladdin was given one chance to set things right. He had lost the lamp, his home, and his love, yet he would not give up. In despair, he remembered the ring.
"I cannot undo the lamp genie's spell, but I can take you there."
He was carried to the far-off palace. She was a prisoner, but hope returned at his sight. Together, they devised a plan. Pride was his weakness. He seized the lamp and rubbed it.
Master, you have returned.
Take this palace and my beloved princess back to our city, and banish the magician so he may harm no one again.
The Sultan embraced Aladdin. Peace returned. He used his remaining wishes with care for others. He learned the greatest treasures are love, cleverness, and a kind heart.